Hi guys, this is a video I was not really supposed to do today and also not posted, but as you probably, didn't see, I know most of you didn't see this, last night I tried to stream the state of play from PlayStation. Unfortunately, because it was my first stream ever, a lot of problems did actually occur, so because of that I was actually not able to, I missed basically a lot of the actual event, right? And the part that I did catch, which is like the last 15 minutes or something like that, were kinda not good, at least not in my opinion. They were kinda underwhelming. So to me, this event was super depressing and I didn't really like it. I thought it was a big fail, right? Big L for PlayStation, it sucked. And then the next morning, which is this morning, I wake up to see a video from someone that I actually do most of the time find myself in agreement with, Charlie, aka Moist Critical.
I'd reach out right now and grab you by your ear because we need to have a serious conversation about your behavior, so come take a seat.
That basically he made a video, I'm gonna play some clips from his video to understand better what he's talking about, but basically he is saying that, you know, people are overestimating this kind of events and that they have basically expectations that will never be met.
And without fail, in every single one of these, people come in there expecting the world. They're expecting some things that I don't think even Jesus Christ could have possibly delivered.
And that kind of triggered me a little bit. The first time I wanted to actually make a video about how he is wrong, how he actually basically tells fans that, you know, they cannot take PlayStation, like put PlayStation to shame for a bad event. But then I was listening to him more and I did agree with the fact that a lot of people do actually overestimate what these events usually do give us, because to be frank, since State of Play and, you know, Microsoft events as well are, you know, on the market and we do see them, it's not like they ever brought something crazy. And I'm not saying they never actually made a big announcement. I mean, the State of Play that we got before this one, we got to hear about Ghost of Yotei. But the problem really is that you get like one game maybe in like, I don't know, 6 months, something like that. It's not that amazing. But for some reason, people still have the speculations that maybe they talk about this and they maybe talk about that. And yeah, you basically even heard me on the stream if you did watch it. If you didn't, please go ahead and watch it now, I guess, if you want to see that part. But I basically said the stream was a fail. And then I wanted to make this video about Charlie, you know, when he said that the video was that, you know, the event was actually not that bad and it's one of the better State of Plays. And when I heard that it's the better State of Plays, I was in my head like, what was he on about? And that's what I wanted to find out. So what I did is I went back, watched the entire State of Play, because again, I didn't pay attention to some of it because I was trying to make the stream work. And I didn't realize that I actually lost a lot of the good things. For example, I did not really see the thing of the gameplay from Metal Gear Solid. I did not see the reveal of the DLC from Lies of P. Like, pretty important stuff if you stay to think about it, like the cream de la crop was there. Also the Chinese Final Fantasy kind of game. What was it called? Masquerade or something like that? It's a game made by a person that actually, you know, worked for Rockstar on GTA. So one of the games I'm really excited for that they actually did show last night is The Midnight Walk. And I mean, yeah, sure, you can say that, you know, these are not the most popular games because, you know, those are not known IPs, not very big studios make them, and people had other expectations. But that's exactly what Charlie is saying as well. Don't stop actually believing that these studios will, you know, offer you what you want. Usually these studios don't give a fuck what we want, and they will just show what they have or what they have prepared. And to be frank, they will keep, you know, most of the good stuff, you know, either for later on when they are sure everything is ready to actually be shown, or for, you know, the bigger game events. For example, there are a lot of people that, you know, thought GTA 6 will be included in this State of Play. I personally put it on the prediction list as a dream. I knew it's never going to be shown. I just like to put it every single time, maybe, just maybe. But frankly, probably Rockstar will show it on its own. And if not, the only event that really can showcase GTA 6 is gonna be the Summer Game Fest. Because otherwise it's the Game Awards show that I'm pretty sure it shouldn't happen like that, because GTA is supposed to come this year and the Game Awards is at the end of the year, so yeah, it wouldn't make sense. But you kind of get my point, right? So basically what I am trying to get at, it's the fact that Charlie is right and I was really wrong. And the state of play of PlayStation was actually good. After I took a long look at it, after I actually saw the entire thing, I realized that it was actually a pretty cool game, a pretty cool event. They actually even showed the Omniusha, the new one, the second one basically, that's more or less like a Souls game, and it does actually look pretty cool. It's from Capcom, it looks interesting, and I personally really enjoyed looking at it. And yeah, again, it's good. But yeah, sure, I do understand some people are pissed. And this is the other part that I wanted to talk about, because even though I do agree now with what Charlie said, that this is basically a good state of play, I still understand a little bit of the rage that people had. And I wanted to kind of explain why people were so mad at PlayStation for this state of play. I firstly have to start with the fact that it's 2025. That's it. It's a year where people like to be angry, apparently. I'm kidding. But really, I think it's a year where, you know, a lot of big games are supposed to come out, and PlayStation owners, because I'm one of them, so I kind of understand it, are pretty kind of angry, because you get the PS5, but really, you don't get that many exclusive games on the PS5. Like, usually when you buy a console, the main reason is because of the games you're going to play on that console. And PlayStation usually delivers good single-player games, and, you know, they're pretty epic. But what did we get on PS5? We got Horizon Forbidden West, which for most people is basically, you know, a mediocre game. I personally liked it. I think it was a good game, but I know a lot of people that did not enjoy it as much. Then it's Spider-Man 2. I think Spider-Man 2 is absolutely great. I loved it. I think it's better than the first one. It's just a very, very good time, so of course I enjoyed every single piece of it. And then, of course, God of War Ragnarok. It's a masterpiece. I don't really have to talk about it, you guys understand. But other than that, what other thing did we really have? Nothing. 2024 was a very stale year for PlayStation players, and 2025 seemed to be the year that they should actually do something about that, because we did have an announcement that Wolverine would be in 2025. Now we don't know when it will show up. Ghost of Yotei was, you know, and is supposed to come out in 2025 as well. And these two major games are basically the two things that should show up, right? Well, there's one more, but we don't know exactly if it's PlayStation stuff, because it was not shown at PlayStation, and genuinely we don't know exactly who is behind it. I mean, behind it as what console should it be exclusive on, if it's gonna even be exclusive to something. I'm talking about Marvel 1948 Rise of Hydra. Probably a lot of you did forget about it or didn't even hear about it because it was presented at an Unreal event. I personally think it looks interesting, but genuinely I don't even think it's an exclusive to PlayStation. I think it's just everywhere, to be frank with you, so I don't know. I just hope it's gonna be like, you know, the MGU, like the Marvel Gaming Universe or something. I don't know. And they will go and do the, you know, Spider-Man team up and whatever. But I'm actually kind of losing it right now. So the core of the problem, really, when you think about it, it's actually the fact that a lot of people are just pissed at PlayStation for not actually delivering games. And not only that, but the problem that PlayStation has right now is the fact that the games that we even know of, we don't even know when the fuck they'll show up. So Ghost of Yotei is the one that it's certain to be this year, right? But we don't know when it's gonna show up. And on my list, if you did actually watch my stream, you would see that, you know, Ghost of Yotei was on my list. I did not think they will show gameplay, I just thought maybe they will say the release game, the release date. Maybe not, you know, the exact date, but like the month, or at least it's gonna be towards the end of the year or something like that. None of that. And then, of course, we had the big missing one, which is Wolverine. Why am I saying that? Well, since I think it was 2023 when Wolverine was announced, we didn't get anything except the leaks from last year, which by the way did affect the game a lot. If you remember, Insomniac had a really big issue with the leaks that happened. And the problem was that Wolverine got it the worst because a lot of the gameplay got leaked. Gameplay that of course was not finished. I personally blame a lot of this on the leakers, because of course when you present that to the people, and I want to explain this for people that don't understand why this is a very, very, very fucking big deal. It's because when you present something that is unfinished, that is not supposed to be presented in front of the people, it will scare some of the people away, feeling that, oh, maybe this game is actually not gonna be that good. So you maybe are feeling like, who cares? If the game is good, people are going to buy it, when it comes out. Which is true, but the problem is, investors don't look at it the same way we look at it. They look at it as if people got scared away from your game, there's lesser chance for them to actually buy it, which means there's lesser chance for us to get our money back out of it, which means we don't give you as much money as we promised, or we actually are taking our money back. So yes, that could scare investors off. Plus, it for sure will delay some of the things because now they have to change stuff. And, it's a big mess when people do that, so I hate leakers. Please stop looking at the leaks, and please, for the love of God, stop leaking shit. That sounded kind of messed up, to be totally honest with you, though. But, again, coming back to the subject. People are upset because since back then when we got these leaks and basically, Wolverine was kind of downgraded because of it, nothing actually even came out about it. I think it was announced that it was delayed or something until 2026, I think. But genuinely, I think it was I personally think Sony should have put something out. And this is the one thing where I'm still a little bit against like what Charlie said. They should put a little more interest in what people say and what people think. Now, I'm not saying don't do, for them to do unrealistic shit, because I don't know if you know, but a lot of people now start speculating on the fact that God of War got leaked, and we know that God of War will be in Egypt, so a lot of people for some fucking reason thought that State of Play, like this State of Play, would have announced God of War in Egypt, which makes no goddamn fucking sense. Like, you barely had one like 2 years ago. You're not gonna get one yet. It's going to take a little bit of time, so let's wait for it. And it's definitely not gonna be announced here. I'm sorry to break it to you, but games like God of War and like probably, GTA and all these are going to be presented. Where is the bigger crowd? And the bigger crowd is never at Xbox events or at PlayStation events, is where both of these actually get together, and that is the summer event, the Summerfest game, or the Game Awards. Usually the Game Awards is like the more prestigious one, so basically games, like the biggest games, are gonna be presented there. So that's where I think these kind of announcements are going to be made. On short, I understand that people are a little bit annoyed, and I do think PlayStation, Xbox, all these guys really should take a little bit of a look and present actually better things or better structure your events, because honestly, at this point in time, I don't think they do good enough. And yes, I am for, making some space for indie games, for new IPs, which by the way brings me to another subject where people actually hate when they bring new IPs. But if you want a good IP, if you want a good game, that's how you gotta fucking do it. You gotta give a new game a chance. Otherwise, there's no fucking point in even trying. We'll play the same games, God of War 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, until the end of the fucking days. Because why would we bother to get anything else? It's this type of mentality that actually are basically making corporations choose to just do remakes and reboots. Which, by the way, if PlayStation 6 come out, I swear to God, they should just come out with the next Last of Us Part 1. Because they will just remaster that shit for any PlayStation ever. I swear, what's wrong with them? So yeah, sorry for this rant. I just wanted to kind of make clear what I think about what Charlie said, even though I don't think anyone asked, and I don't think anyone cares. I don't think Charlie cares, but hey, I just want to say it. First of all, second of all, I did kind of want to point out that I am a little bit sorry for what I said on the stream, and I actually do not believe it was a bad State of Play. Watching it fully, I do believe it was a good one. And I do understand, again, why people are a little mad, but yes, I do agree that people should, you know, put their expectations a little bit behind. Tone them down, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. Bye, guys.